live from our studios in Tucson, Arizona. For the millions of fans listening around the world, from Long Realty with John Smith and Matt Bollinger, let's get ready to talk real estate. Good afternoon and welcome to the Real Estate Rumble. My name is John Smith. I'm here with Matt Bollinger, my business partner. We're excited to have Jennifer Brown in the studio today with Habitat for Humanity. But before we get to our guest, I have to present Matt with his copy of my new book, Real Estate Disaster Chronicles. He loves it. It's a 2024 national bestseller. Reach out to us today and I can show you how to get a copy. Here you go, Matt. I will sign this for you later.
Appreciate it.
Okay, my ghostwriter
book.
helped me out, Mr. A and his friend I, okay? They all got together and helped me write this book and got it produced. Wonderful picture of me. At the very least, you should set this on your coffee table every day so you can look at me when you get up.
Yep, you know that'll happen.
This is a day of presents, bro, okay?
Oh,
Today I brought you a present,
Lord.
and I know how jealous you are of my T-shirts, so I brought you one.
Great. Can't wait to see it.
As around here, we always make a great suggestion on everything we do.
Listen to John.
Listen to John, and it's covered with hair. But listen to John's shirt. I hope it fits you. You're gonna wear it in pure pleasure. Or you're just gonna toss it in the back seat, and we'll never see it again until you have to change your oil. Right. Okay. So let's talk a little bit. How's things been going for you, Matt?
Going really well.
We got any news on the market today?
50 basis point rate cut. It hasn't necessarily affected mortgage rates yet, but they're typically forward looking. So we'll talk to Ryan about that.
Okay, so we'll bring Ryan on a little bit and do one of those mortgage minutes that we pull off that always turns into a mortgage 20-minute argument.
Right.
All right, fair enough. Jennifer Brown, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. So Habitat Humanity is kind of close to my heart. I've done a few builds myself. It's an amazing thing. I did a little research before you came, and I always thought that Jimmy Carter was the founder of Habitat for Humanity. But that's not true, is it?
No, that is not true, actually. He is a great supporter of Habitat. He is not the founder.
So how'd that all happen? What'd come around? Do you know how this all got started? It looks like Millard and Linda Fuller got together and decided enough is enough and we need to build houses for everybody that deserves it.
Well, actually, it started because they wanted to help their neighbors out by enhancing their living standards. So they said, hey, I'll come over and help you if you come over and help me. And that's kind of how it built. The whole community started helping each other. And then it was like, hey, well, can we help these people now? So then it branched out to people that are in need after they had.
So it was like a big old barn raising.
Basically, yes.
I mean, Habitat Humanity could probably be traced back to there where you help your neighbor.
Absolutely, yeah. And it was... It is a religious organization, so it started out as a church coming together, and all of the neighbors then building, and that's how they started getting donations through church. And then we didn't actually come to Tucson until 81.
Okay.
So we've been here since 81, and we just finished dedicating our 500th home here.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we're very proud of that.
Okay, now I just heard you say building, but then you switched to dedicating. So why are we talking, why do we switch up? Why are we not building, but we're dedicating homes?
So we are building them still, but we just dedicated our 500
When they're finished?
homes. Correct. So when when they're finished, the homeowner comes in, we do a whole celebration for them, a breakfast. We invite their families to come out, the people that built the houses. So we invite the volunteers to come out, and then we dedicate the homes to them. And we talk about how hard they worked, everything they did to earn the house, and then we dedicate the house, hand over the keys, and obviously the paparazzi steps in. And we
started in a
pictures.
church, and now it's international.
Yeah,
That's
basically,
amazing.
yeah.
So the build that I was on was for a vet, okay, and former military, and it was awesome. Okay, so is that the only people that are eligible for this program? Is formal? I mean, I love vets, and I think that they deserve all the help.
Yeah,
that
maybe
they
if you
can
could
get.
talk a little about the application process and how that kind of goes forward.
Sure. So I'll start with, no, we do not just serve veterans, although we always want to help veterans, especially being a veteran myself, and I am the staff liaison for our Veterans Committee. So we do have specific, we are always pushing veterans to apply, but single parents, those aging in place, really anyone, any family can come apply. It is based off of income, so you have to be able to have the ability to repay your loan. You have to show income. You do have to have a full-time job. We are not giving homes away. That is also something that's kind of spread around. That's not true. They have to pay for them. They have to work hard for them. They build for them. They're doing financial aid classes. They're doing home responsibility classes, home repair classes. So it is a whole year program that you start.
It's not just a gift. They actually have to go work on site on their own home.
Either their own home or someone else's home. But yes, everybody over the age of 16 is required to do 250 sweat equity hours.
Nice.
So that's between our Habit store, our Chuck Center, and our construction sites, and in our office. If someone has, physically can't be out on the construction site, we'll figure out a way for them to get their hours in the office. Maybe they have computer skills. So in all families, we have 31 families that we just chose, and 27 of them are single parents. So we encourage single parents to apply. I can't encourage. And veterans, please come out and apply for our programs.
Right. Before we move on, you said something that made me think of Matt here. Hey, Bob the Builder, you ever been to the Habit store?
I have.
Okay. What an amazing place that is, right?
Yes. One of our best volunteers, his name is actually Bob the Builder.
Awesome.
He's an electrician. He's one of our favorites. He's been volunteering for over 20 years with Habitat.
Wow.
So he's amazing. But the Habit store, we're open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays 10 to 4. And that store alone builds a third of our houses every year.
Really?
It's huge for us, yes. And we have a little saying, every sale bangs a nail. Even if you're coming in there to buy a pot for your new plant, or you need
appliance or something like that.
We have everything you could possibly imagine for your home. So if you're just getting into home, come buy something there. If you have something in your house that you're just like, I'm over it, I don't want it anymore, we will come pick it up, free pickup. We also have delivery if you don't have a truck. So if you choose something and you can't get it home, we'll help you out. We found that we are the cheapest delivery service in Tucson so far. We really tried to keep that right at a rate that everybody could afford to have their furniture brought to them.
So when somebody brings in things like appliances, you have people like Bob that test that stuff out and make sure everything's working, and then you put it out on the floor. How does that work? How do you keep people from just giving you a bunch of junk that they didn't want anymore that doesn't work?
You drop it off at the swap meet.
Back to the swap meet.
Obviously, that does happen. And unfortunately, we do have to turn some donations away. But we will always try to give you another place that will take it. There are plenty of other places in this town that are looking for donations for things that maybe we don't take. A good example is we don't take clothing and sheets.
What about mattresses?
We do take mattresses.
Do you?
Yes, they cannot be stained. They cannot be older than 5 years old. They can't have a weird smell to them.
All right, your mattress is out.
Funny.
But no box springs.
Okay, isn't that weird? No box springs, but mattresses.
Yeah, I never understood that.
So the other thing that I know about this store, there used to be a manager there. His name was Terry D. I've had a relationship with Terry for years before he moved on to another position. But you can go in there and find hard-to-find hardware. You know, that somebody just took off a house and then they just donated it over to them, brought in a toilet, and you're looking for a piece to that hard-to-find toilet, in the back, a handle, something. So it's worth going in there before you go to the big box store and end up replacing an entire door, an appliance, because you might find a part that you were looking for.
Absolutely. Like ceiling fans. People have ceiling fans with lights, and one of them will be broken. And they're like, oh, I have to throw it away. No, come into the Habit store. I probably have that one that you're looking for. And for like $2. So don't go spend $100 on a new ceiling fan. Come check us out first.
Yeah, and there's some nice furniture there. I mean, there's some stuff just as equal to what you would find probably above a yard sale or an estate sale.
Furniture, vanities, like
Absolutely.
things that people take out of houses just because they're changing them out. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. It's just...
Correct.
Well, how many times have you changed out a perfectly good appliance or a perfectly good cabinet in your business? And then what did you do with those? You either donated them to the city dump or they found another place. So this is an opportunity for your business to help out with
That's
as
correct.
well.
Yeah, and you're saving on dump fees because we won't charge you to bring it to us.
You won't take the rest of the stuff we have.
So let's pretend Matt has applied for a habitat build. He wants a house and he wants to participate. He meets the qualifications financially. He's willing to put in the hours. He's got a couple kids that can help with the equity. We filled out the application. Yeah. How long do we have to wait?
I also want to hear about how the families pay for it.
Okay.
Because they do pay for it.
Absolutely.
It's not given to them like you said.
Not charity.
No.
Yeah, there's no charity. It's a hand up, not a hand
It sounds like accountability more than it does anything.
Yeah, we definitely keep you accountable. Well, let's back up to a little bit to the actual beginning process. So hundreds and hundreds of people come to our information sessions, and they are done on Zoom and in person. And from those hundreds of people, we have about 150 apply every time. And then from those 150 people, we go with based on need. So I actually have a committee of volunteers that will go into a home and decide who needs it most. So they're not paid employees. They're all volunteers. And they go in there and they have a check sheet. And they're saying, wow, there's this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem. And the more problems you have, obviously, the higher up the list you go. And then veterans also move up to that top of the list as well.
As they should.
Right. And then they will say, okay, these are the 31 families that we pick. So selection committee, they all come back. They put all of them in there and say, these are the ones that I want to pick. These are the ones that I feel like we should pick. And these are the ones I feel like they should pick. And then the whole committee decides on the families that they choose. From that moment on, they are now been accepted into our program, and that's where the classes start. So they're given what's called a family partner, and that is somebody that is also a volunteer that works with them throughout the whole year, shows them how to take financial responsibility, teaches them how to budget their money, shows them where if you cut this out, you can save this much money, because you still have to have a down payment and you still have to be able to afford your mortgage every month.
How big is that down payment? Is it an adjusted amount, or is it
based on
income?
Based on income. And it's we never charge more than a third of their income for their mortgage.
Got it.
And we do carry the mortgage. Habitat does carry the mortgage.
That was another question I had. That's interesting.
Yeah, so we carry the mortgage, and we have first right of refusal. So after 10 years, the homeowner can sell their home, and typically we will buy it back, fix it, and sell it to another home buyer, future home buyer that has applied for our program. And the reason we do that is because we prefer communities. We build family, hope communities, and we want everyone in your neighborhood to be a Habitat home buyer. So you can depend on them. They've gone through the same thing as you. And being as a single parent that lives next to another single parent, you can always work together and join. Like, hey, our kids get off at school at the same time, but I'm not going to be home on Monday. Can you pick them up? So we're building culture and communities through that. So it's something that we really hold dear, is keeping those homes with us. One thing I get asked a lot is, well, can I sell my home a year later?
That was one of the questions I wanted to know.
I wanted to know, can you sell it for profit back to you, or does it have to be of fair market value?
Fair market value with a profit.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, that's both words.
Okay.
We just have the first right. They cannot sell their home until they've owned it for 10 years.
Which is great.
So, and that's, because then you would just be back in that same, you sold your house, now you need a new place to live. Obviously, rates have gone up since you bought your home. So now you're in a no home situation again.
So after 10 years, can they pass it on to a different generation of their family? In other words, I'm not necessarily want to sell it, but I'd like to give it to my son and his new family.
Absolutely. It's your home. It's yours to do with what you will. We just have first right to buy it back.
So this is going to sound like maybe a jerk question. So Matt apologizes in advance. Okay. So the skill level of the builders, tell me who looks over and makes sure that the quality of the work being done is up to par, let's just say.
That's a great question. We actually have 40 paid staff throughout Habitat Tucson. That's the store, the office, construction sites, and Chuck Center. So I have very skilled employees. And everything is, one step has been completed, we're going back and making sure that that step was completed correctly. And there's plenty of times where maybe it wasn't. We have to take a few steps back and fix it. But it's no big deal for us. It's totally normal. We don't ever want to discourage a volunteer from coming out because they might be afraid of a power tool or, well, I've never worked on a house. Don't worry about it. Come out. We will teach you everything you need to know. Whatever we're doing that day, we will teach you.
So permitting process is all the same as a regular build, or how,
yes.
So everything is done and inspected by city, county, whatever.
Absolutely.
Development services people.
Absolutely.
Okay.
My job was to fill cracks with foam.
Ooh, see, that's one of my favorite jobs.
Got to keep it simple for John.
That's right, and you got to keep it fun. That anybody can do. But
You can write a book.
I wrote a book.
They're like, he looks like a sprayer. Go ahead and put him over there.
Now I learned it all. I've been singled out. Tracy had to help me.
Got to get the brains in with the brawn, I guess.
All right, so let's get back to this. So we filled out the application. We had the people come in and deem that we were worthy. And when I mean worthy, our cause was worthy, not necessarily us individually. But I don't want to use the word help, but you qualified for the program. Let's just
Correct.
use that, okay? Yeah. What's the lead time? Do I get a house the very next day?
No, the process is usually about a year. And that's because right now my volunteers that my future home buyers aren't necessarily building their homes.
Okay.
They could be building the homes for the people after them, or there could be a few that are trickling here that are waiting to get in a home.
So they're trying to get their hours in before their build comes, just so
Correct.
they know they can have them done.
Where does the land come from? I mean, before you build and you start that process, where does the land come from?
That's a great question.
Okay.
So
We're full of them today.
you love it. A lot of the land is donated.
Okay.
People will leave land to us in their wills, which we are very grateful, because you can't take the dirt with you, so leave it to us.
That's true.
We purchase it with the money that we make from the Habit store.
Is that, I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No,
I
you're
do.
okay.
Is that the only source of income you guys have is the Habit stores?
And just donations.
And donations.
Donations.
Donations is also a third of our income.
Okay, so is
Planned
Also, our
giving, is that your planned giving is that a big part of it, or is it?
Yeah, it
Okay.
really is. It's a huge part of it. I have some donors that donate $7 a month.
Oh,
And that's huge for us.
Heck
It's
yeah.
that constant. We know that we're going to get that $7. We know having those smaller donors are huge for us. We have a lot of them, obviously.
so there's no donation that's too small.
Never. I mean,
Oh,
no
really?
matter what you donate to us, if you come to the Habit store and you donate something, we're going to give you a gift in kind receipt. If you come and give cash, we're going to give you a gift in kind receipt for that cash. So you give us land, you give us something that we can turn around and sell. We had an artist give us 300 paintings.
Nice.
And we turned around and sold them and gave him a gift in kind receipt. So he was like, oh, I was just going to throw them away. And I was driving by and I thought, well, I'll try the Habit store. And we were so grateful that he did, because don't put your art in the trash.
So is every house a 3-bedroom, 2-bath?
No.
Okay, oh, really? Okay.
Yes, they are based off of the size of the family.
All right. My thinking here is, okay, do I not get a choice of where my house sits? Do I not get a choice of colors? Do I not get a choice of, this is what you get, don't throw a fit kind of thing?
That's what I say to my 6-year-old.
Well,
Or you
welcome to
have
my world.
Or you have like a 2-bedroom plan and you have a 3-bedroom plan, and you just stick with the same thing, so you're not having to hire architects and draftspeople and
Oh,
whatnot.
see, we have our own people that do that, actually. Jeff does most of that.
What's Jeff's last name? You know?
Ocampo.
Ocampo.
Yes,
Let's give him a little
and-
shout out to Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff's amazing. I will tell you more about Jeff in a minute. But we actually have multiple floor plans, but we do base them off the property size. And, sometimes we have to shift them around. But our homes are actually made now with prefabricated walls
Okay.
that we are building in the Chuck Center. And that was Jeff's doing. He created that. And it saved us a lot of money and a lot of time of rework, because we're able to make sure that the whole outside part of the house is perfect before taking it up and lifting the walls. And that would take us months to do the whole outside and to lift all the walls. Now it's taking us a day.
Yeah, that's great.
So we've really sped up time because of the Chuck Center. Really because of Jeff, which we did get to test those. We went down to Havasu Pie in the Grand Canyon.
No, I've been there.
Beautiful place.
Gorgeous.
The people were amazing, and they were so welcoming and kind to us. And
I did the hike down there. Did you hike down there? Did you helicopter it?
No, I heloed.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hiked, and it was the first time I'd done a hike like that. And as I was walking along the hike, it looked like there was a mule leg sitting there. No mule, just a leg. And then I thought, what's around the next corner, right? But it's beautiful. It's well worth going down. And yes, I would suggest taking the copter.
I would too.
Fair enough.
If I'm being honest, yes, the helicopter was nice.
So they were already doing the prefab stuff?
Yeah, we had started the prefabrication in first houses we used them were in October of last year. And in February, we took them down to Havasupai, and we built 2 houses in 8 weeks.
Oh, that's great.
So I took our first group, we took 22 volunteers with us and staff, and we basically camped there. We stayed in their lodge, but they don't have a whole lot of hot water, or they didn't have any food sources for us, so we flew all of our food down there, all of our equipment. We built the houses over the 8 weeks. It was the most gratifying experience, but that's where it was like, wow, we could build a house in 8 weeks from start to finish with these prefabricated walls. So
that's like HGTV
Just on a side
speed.
note,
Yeah.
Havasupai actually has gone through some devastation right now due to flooding.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested in going, the opportunity is there to volunteer to help reclaim that area, but you do have to camp.
Yes, you do.
You do have to camp, and that is your facilities that you're going to live in while you're there volunteering. So
yeah, we made some friends while we were down there, and I reached out to a friend. I said, "Hey, how did our houses do after the landslide?" And she said they weren't touched.
Oh, that's great.
We lifted them so high up that they had no mud, and my friends were mopping layers and layers of mud out of their homes. And she's like, we went to both of them, and they were just in perfect condition, which made us so happy that we didn't build them homes, and now they're in this position where they can't live in them. So it was really nice. We built a 5-bedroom and a 3-bedroom down there, and it's probably one of the most prideful things that I've done at Habitat so far.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
So what if, Matt, the question I really want to ask is, what if you build on the east side, but I don't want to live on the east side? Do I have no choice? Do I get what I get?
And you don't throw a fit. Yes and no. So you can say, I don't like this area. I'd like to wait for the next area. And you can do that. But if the second time comes around, you say, I don't want this house, you have to start the process all over again. So I wouldn't suggest doing that, because you might not get chosen. There might have been someone else with more need this time around. So, but you kind of have a pretty good idea of where they're going to be. Most of our construction sites right now, we know where we're going to be in the future, so they can kind of say, like, you're going to either be here or you'll probably be here, one of the two, and they're like, oh, well, I prefer this side. And the family partner really fights for them to say, hey, this family would prefer to be over here. It's closer to their help. It's closer to the kids' school. Over here wouldn't be very convenient for the single father, because this is where his care is. So they always work really well with the families.
I have another kind of, I don't know why, but another county city question. So do they give you any leeway on zoning?
No.
Yeah, I didn't.
No.
I didn't think so.
Just as strict as everybody else, which is good though, right? Because you want everyone to have the right zoning.
But I have to say, there's a lot of answers in my book. And if you want a copy of it, just reach out to me today.
There are 0 answers in the Real Estate Disaster Chronicles by John Smith.
So Matt's got approved. He's got his locations determined. I told you we had a little bit of fun here. His location's determined. He's got all of his hours in before his build start. He's ready to go. So we just move in?
You have to wait till your house gets dedicated to you.
Okay, has to be dedicated to you. So there's a ceremony.
Yes, there's a ribbon cutting ceremony.
For every house.
Every house. Absolutely.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. Every homeowner deserves that. You worked really hard. You work so much harder as a Habitat home buyer than you do as a regular home buyer. I'm a home buyer, and I didn't go through the Habitat process. I didn't have to do all of that stuff before. So we really try to make it like, you worked hard for this. For a whole year, you gave your lives. And I'm talking, like, one of my volunteers today, I said, wow, you look really tired. One of my home buyers, and she said, oh my gosh, I just worked a 14-hour shift, and I'm just going to squeeze these 3 hours in before I got to go pick up my kid from school. And I was like, wow, and she's going to go pick her kid up from school, and she's not going to bed. We're parents, you don't go to bed when you get home. So, she's doing the bath, and she's doing the homework, and, she's going to get very little sleep before she has to go to work the next day. So we just really try to show them, like, you did this. You built this home. You worked so hard. You should be so proud of yourself. The family members are so proud of them because they see, like, wow, you built this house? Like, that's incredible that you could do that. And you're like, actually, I could fix a whole bunch of stuff now because, something breaks in your home. Well, I was there when they built it, so now I know how to fix it. So.
Hey, well, it's time for us to take our break naturally. So let's just come back and talk to Jennifer Brown and Matt Bollinger and myself and talk a little bit more about Habitat for Humanity. I have a question that is in my head that I'm dying to ask. I just have to figure out what it is. This episode was brought to you by Habitat for Humanity. They have built 500 homes since 1984. Special shout out goes to Jennifer Brown for being our guest. So Jennifer's with Habitat for Humanity, and we were talking about whether or not the homes have any type of warranty on them. What's your thought? Is it limited? Is it just somewhat?
Yes, it is for a short period of time. I'm not exactly for how long, but there is a warranty on the houses for a short period of time. But we do teach you how to fix your home.
Oh, so that was going to be another one of my questions. Matt and I were talking on the break about, a lot of times new homeowners or people that have never experienced homeowning don't realize that there is a cost to maintain a home. And that's one thing we try to teach first-time home buyers is, listen, it starts when you close on your house. It doesn't start before. Mm-hmm. So are you ready for that? Do you understand the purpose of that? And it sounds like to me you guys have some classes that are set up to educate them.
Yeah, they take many classes throughout the year, not only financial aid classes, but home repair classes. And it's really from small things to large things. So, how to change your AC filter. You'd be surprised how many new homeowners don't know that they need to do that.
Or it even exists.
Yes, or where it is in their home. So we'll show them where it's at, how to replace it, how often to replace it. Really anything. You have a leaky faucet. We'll show you how to repair your faucet. Or we'll send you to the Habit store to get a new one.
There you go.
No,
there you go.
Just kidding.
Here's the plug.
Right?
They are so great. Everything's brand new when you get it. So,
and most of those are volunteers down there. Am I correct?
Yeah, the homes are built by 80% volunteers.
Okay.
And I have volunteers that come out 2 or 3 times a week. They give their lives to us to build homes. And for instance,
so you don't need any more volunteers?
No, we always need volunteers.
Okay.
Do you want to know why?
Yeah, why?
Because those volunteers that keep coming are aging out. And we can't ask the 80-year-olds to be building 5 days a week anymore. We need those young people
But they
from
are the
college.
ones that know what they're doing.
That's true.
This is very true.
But they will teach the next generation.
True.
So Bob the builder, our electrician, he has been teaching Candace for many years, and we just hired her as our electrician now because she's very skilled at wiring homes, and she learned it all from being a volunteer and school. She didn't go to school. But all of her hands-on experience was from Bob, and now it's allowed Bob to not come out every single day and wire all 7 houses. He's getting a little time off, which he deserves.
I would think also go back to the warranty thing. Like, yes, for minor repairs, I get that it's limited, but you're also building a house that's new. So you're probably going to have a lot of the systems in the house that come with warranties on them. So HVAC systems,
I was gonna say, what do you mean by
appliances, things like that.
Mm-hmm, yes,
Yeah,
all those kinds of stuff.
Yes. Anybody who's doing those kind of things would have some sort of warranty.
Do you
with it.
actually, are there trades out there that would say, hey, we would love to help you out if there was ever a problem? Like if you had a house that had a roof leak, is there a roofing company out there that you would seek to come help you with that?
There's a few different companies that we use for our roofing. We do not do our own roofs.
Okay.
We do contract that out. So,
That's
but different companies, and it's really based off of who gives us the best price. So
Right.
I don't want to say, hey, we always use this roofing company because we don't always just use one.
Yeah.
Same thing with electricians, plumbers, all of it. So you give us the best bid, and you could do a good job, we'll hire you.
So if there's a roofing company out there that's listening to this podcast that's interested in donating time and material, you'd be more than happy to encourage that.
Absolutely. We will always take, even if it's just coming and donating your time. You don't even have to donate the supplies. If that's something that if you're a smaller company, you can't afford that, but you can afford to, pay a few of your employees to come out, or if your employees want to do it out of the kindness of their heart, we would love to have them. The more skilled volunteers that come out, obviously, the better quality of the homes, the faster that they're done, and more opportunities for the volunteers to learn from contractors.
Good point.
Does Big Blue or Big Orange stores ever donate to you guys?
That'd be Lowe's and Home Depot.
Thank you.
I wasn't going
Actually,
to give them free sponsorship here.
Home Depot is a huge, huge sponsor for us. They do a lot. Not only do they,
Is that a national sponsor, I would assume, or something like that
we
for
actually
Habitat?
work directly with Tucson.
Yeah, okay.
Home Depots. we might get national funding through National Habitat, but they just kind of take that money, then filter it out. But Home Depots here in Tucson actually give us money, and a lot of it, if I'm being honest. They are really, really kind to us. They come out and do a lot of builds. We were actually out at Valor, and we were doing landscaping, and one of the volunteers goes, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're picking these weeds again." And the Home Depot goes, "Well, when was the last time you picked them?" He goes, "Last week." The guy jumped in his car, drove to Home Depot, came back, got his sprayers, went and sprayed all seven properties, and the weeds were gone. And we were just like, "Thank you so much." But that's not something we would spend donors' money on. We would just keep picking the weeds.
Right.
So that was super, super kind of them, and the whole neighborhood instantly looked nice. And we weren't sending the college kids out there to dig up the weeds every week.
Every week, yeah.
Is there an HOA?
They do have their own HOA.
Okay.
And their HOA fee is based on what they decide as a community.
Okay.
I know one of the communities, I was talking to her today because she asked if we could come and do some landscaping. And I said, your HOA should pay for that. And she goes, well, our HOA fee is only $15. You might need to raise that a little bit, come out together as a community and say, hey, is anybody else willing to give another $10?
Right.
So you're really empowering them to make decisions upon their own.
Yeah.
So can I put a swimming pool in my new Habitat?
Ooh, I think if you had a big enough backyard, you could do whatever you want to your property.
Yeah. So there's no
it's
limitations,
yours.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, the HOA would probably step in, but if I wanted to paint it purple, I could paint it purple.
No. There are some colors that they get to choose from. They do get to choose the color of their house, which I would always suggest yellow. Lasts the longest in Tucson.
That's a good tip.
And stay away from blue and gray. But
please stay away from gray. The flippers are always
all gray.
And that's how you know the house
All
has
gray,
been
all
flipped.
the time.
It's
that and
gray.
that and the stripe of tile in the tub, right? They put this stripe.
The
The
waterfall.
one waterfall one. Yes,
Yep.
I've seen a lot of those too.
I like them, actually.
I wonder why. Well, anyway, so Jimmy Carter. We talked about him a little bit.
Love him.
Okay, I mean, he's out. You talked about aging out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's almost 100 years old.
I know. Can you believe
and
it?
is he still out and about, still doing the thing?
He is always supporting us. He's not out and about, though. I believe that he is at home.
Resting as he deserves.
Yes. I think since his wife passed away, he's ready to go. But I think he's waiting to vote. I actually read on his thing that he's waiting for the election to vote, and then he says that he can go. Actually watched an interview of that, and he was like, no, I'm going to vote first.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Right.
No matter who you're voting for. We
That's
don't
right.
care.
We don't care who you vote, just vote.
That's inspirational as
Yeah.
well.
So
All right.
we're doing his 100th birthday celebration build on September 28th. It already filled up super fast.
So
with
much
our
for my
volunteers.
volunteering right there, because I was going to do it right then.
But don't worry, I have Rainbow next month, and then I have Veteran the month after that. So I would love to invite you to come out to our Veteran build. It's where we invite volunteers, obviously, but veteran volunteers from all over Tucson to come out, and it is really cool, especially because that whole camaraderie of,
Yep.
we understand each other a little bit better. Having 100 volunteers out there, they're all veterans, is a really fun time. And you can invite your non-veteran family members as
Yep.
well. We accept everybody.
So I want to make it perfectly clear. I am not a veteran, but my father is. So
okay.
we could come out and volunteer on his behalf,
Absolutely.
correct?
Yes,
Okay.
please. Yes.
So
please.
I don't want to misconstrue that. But
Yeah, I mean, not everyone's perfect.
so we're in. How many spots can we have?
I'll give you 15.
Okay,
Can
I'll
you fill
fill 15.
15?
I think I can fill 15.
All right, I'm going to hold you to it.
No, I'll drag somebody in. I
Okay.
can figure it out. So I want in. If you can get me 15 spots on that build, we will find 15 people to help us.
That is done.
Okay.
That is done.
You agree?
Yep.
Are you going to be there?
If I'm in town, yeah.
Oh,
When is it?
she told you already.
I didn't hear it.
28th,
The Veterans build is November 16th.
November 16th.
I'll be around then,
Yeah,
for
All right.
sure. And the weather will be perfect for me.
And we'll pull together
Spectacular.
volunteers. We will.
Yeah. We'll have snacks, water, really cool veteran shirts.
Yep.
And then I also have the Rainbow build, which is October 19th. You could just be an ally.
When is that
provided-
one?
That one
October 19th.
is, yeah. Thank
Just
you.
told you.
I
Thanks,
don't listen
Matt.
to anybody. I just
He
think
just
about my
shoots the
next
questions
question.
out.
He does.
You know,
Doesn't want to hear the answer. Just wants to ask a question.
I am here to inform the public. I'll repeat that. I am here to inform the public, and I take my role very seriously.
Yes, you do. We can tell. It's the 19th.
All right, so
of
I don't mind the
October.
Rainbow Build. I could probably bring some people there too.
Yep.
All right, so we'll talk.
Awesome.
But I think we're doing the veteran.
I do want to tell you about some other services that
Oh,
Habitat
please.
has other than just home ownership. We have critical home repair and brush with kindness. So critical home repair is anything inside your home that needs repaired. So AC, water heater, maybe you need a new ramp. Someone in your family has become disabled and they need a larger shower. They need their doors widened. Those are all things that we do for homeowners here in Tucson. You do have to own your home.
Okay.
But that's for senior citizens, veterans. Really, if you qualify for one of our homes, you probably qualify for one of our services. So if you keep going over to Grandma and Grandpa's house and you can't believe that they're sitting in a house with no AC, please reach out to us. We want to help the community. We want to make sure that everybody has decent living here.
How do we reach out?
So you would go to www.habitattucson.org, and on there, it's how you can choose to volunteer there. You can choose to sign up to get information for housing. You can sign up for a Brush with Kindness, which is outside. So critical repair is inside, Brush with Kindness is outside, and that could be landscaping. Maybe you need new gutters.
How about air conditioning?
Painting.
Yes, painting, air conditioning. Yes, air conditioning is a big one.
Here's an example. I had a homeowner who she had a daughter, and basically the husband had passed away. And so then their air conditioning broke down in the middle of summer, and they didn't have a large source of income, and they didn't know who to turn to.
Turn to us. We are here to help. Absolutely.
That's I didn't even know you did that.
I
That's
had no
amazing.
idea either.
That's an
Yeah.
amazing service.
Yeah, we don't want people in their homes getting heat stroke. I mean, we live here, so we know how hot it can get. And obviously we're not giving ACs to people that can afford them themselves.
Correct.
But if you are one person in your home, you could make up to $48,750 and still qualify for our services.
Goodness.
Oh,
And you
that's
can
great.
have 8 people in your home and make $91,962. So there is all those ranges. It is based on how many people live in your home. But that instance like there, we probably would have stepped in and got an AC because nobody should suffer in their homes.
No. And I don't know how she got help. She reached out to me for some thoughts, and I didn't know who to turn her to. Now I do.
Yes, please.
And that's what, if your visit did anything today, it did that.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know you did that program either.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They're huge programs. And if you're a veteran, we actually have separate funding for veterans. So there's Habitat money and then there's veteran money. So we put that completely back into the veterans community. And that usually comes from like DAV, VFWs, American Legions, AMVET, Sam's Club. Those are the writers. Those are giving us money to turn around and give veterans money and for their home repairs.
How the heck did you get involved with Habitat for Humanity? How did you end up making this your job that you love?
I love that question. So I actually have a degree in education with an emphasis in deaf studies, so I'm fluent in sign language. And I worked with deaf people for many years, and I had a client that applied at Habitat and then kind of asked me to help through the process of the paperwork. And that's where I really learned about Habitat. And I was like, wow, what an amazing program. I love this place. I want to go volunteer. And then COVID hit, and I was laid off my job. And I went and worked somewhere for a while, and I wasn't very happy. And
Like working with Matt?
You just getting me back for another episode.
So I was without a job, and my friend said, did you know that Habitat's hiring? I said, no way. And I applied, and I harassed them for a good week. Like, pick me.
Yeah.
Pick me. I'd be really great at volunteer coordinator. I'm really good with people. And I got in, and it's the best year of my life. I
That's awesome.
have loved
Jennifer,
Habitat.
you haven't stopped smiling since you walked through this door. So It's very
it's
obvious
very apparent
that
you
you
love
enjoy
what you do.
what you do and
I
you're
love my
passionate
job.
behind it. So that's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you had to leave us with one last thing about Habitat, what should we absolutely not forget to speak up about?
Spread the word about volunteering, because the more volunteers I have, the more donors I have. Whether you're donating your time or your money, it allows me to help more families in this town, and we can better this community by supporting each other.
Heck yeah.
Excellent.
I want to say thank you.
Thank you so much for
everything
having me.
For
Thank
you for
everything that
coming
you
in.
do.
Thank
We'll have
you.
you back. If you want to get a word about something, let us
Yes.
know. We're going to call us on it. We said we'd be there.
No, I've got you down here for 15
We're going to
coming
come
out
up
to
with 15
Veteranville.
people. I don't care if I have to drag agents from other agents. We'll get people.
We're media guys.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, yeah. Oh, these guys are in. They don't have any choice because they're going to come out and film it. Okay. So, again, thank you. If you ever need anything, let us know. We're here.
Thank you so much for having me. I had such a good time. You
We
guys are
try.
awesome.
All right. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
For those of you. Yeah, there you go. All right.